What's up YouTube, this is Wendell with Work From Home Tech. In this video, I'll give you 3 tips that I use to edit the audio in my videos. Also, you can use this on podcasts and it costs you absolutely nothing. Let's go. What's going on YouTube? I have 3 tips for today that I use to clean up my videos when I do my recording for anything, especially this YouTube channel. So the first tip is the amplification of the audio within your videos. Sometimes you need to amplify the audio if it's recorded too low, so it's not too extensive, but I like to take this capability and combine it with some of the other ones that I'll get into next. So the next tip is how to remove background noise. If you have background noise such as a buzz or there's something that's going on outside, you can remove that with this tip. The last one is the level adjustments and normalization of sound. Sometimes videos are recorded where there's a presenter presenting to an audience, and then the audience is asked questions, and the questions, you can never hear the questions. Well, this last tip will show you how to raise the volume of the speaker and lower the volume of the actual presenter. So let's go ahead and start off with the free tool that'll allow you to do this. The free tool is Audacity, and Audacity is available on Linux, Mac, and Windows, so it's available on most of the operating systems out there that people are using today. You just download this, and there's maybe one very important plugin that you need, and that is FFmpeg. This is a pretty powerful tool. It's open source. It allows you to do a lot of features and has a lot of functions for recording, importing, and exporting. The sound quality, it's got the capability for plugins. You can do analysis, you can do effects, and of course editing, which we will do. So let's go ahead and go back to Audacity here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a simple example of taking a video file, and we'll take that video file, and I have a video file here. I captured it from YouTube. It is from a gentleman, Peter. I put a link to his website.
My data center, and a lot of people always comment, they think I must mine a lot of Bitcoin, but that's not the case.
So what I did was I kind of paused and stop talking for a second so you could actually hear like the server noise in the background. What we're going to do is we're going to use that. What we'll do is take this, drag and drop it here like I said, and bam, I've got my audio. So here you can see the audio. Now what I can do is I can use normal shortcut keys such as Control plus A to select all. So I'm selecting the track, you can use Control A, or you can do something like this where you grab a different section, and you can use something like Control X to remove a section. I can use Control Z and undo that cut I did. But if we listen to the audio,
Top, and we're going to run some tests. It has very good.
So you should be able to hear the machine noise, we'll just call it, in the background. So let's go ahead and get into the features. The first one is Amplify, which is very simple. Control A, you Control A to select everything I'm going to do in this event. Or you could grab a section like I just showed previously, and then you go up to Effect, you hit Amplify, and then you can go ahead and identify how many dB you want to amplify your audio. Now, there's an option here to allow clipping. I don't recommend that because the allow clipping is going to allow the amplification of the audio to be clipped. If there's a section that has a peak like this or this, it will actually exceed the audio peak level. As you can see, when I play this audio, Let's hit cancel. You can
Hey
see
guys,
the
I'm down
levels.
here in my data center.
It'll let the audio go beyond the red and
Noise
actually chop it
comment. They
out.
think I
And
must
then your
mind.
audio will start to degrade. The sound will start to degrade because it's actually chopping off the high levels of the audio. Now, this audio is pretty good. You can see the levels are in the yellow band. You want it just in the yellow and maybe occasionally touching the red, but that's about it. You don't want to stay in the red. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and we have this all selected. We'll go here to effects and we'll go to amplify. Now this amplification works in both directions. The amplification is in dB or attenuation where you can go positive and you can go negative. So if I want to go -2 here, I can actually decrease, as you see this decreased, the volume level by 2 dB. And of course, this will work reverse when you go to effects, you go to amplify. So here we'll go in here and we'll go ahead and we'll increase it 0.9 dB just for example. That's not that big of a change. But if your audio was really low, you would be able to see that. And like I said, you can select a specific section where you can adjust the audio. Like I said, this audio is pretty good. What I'll do is I'll just do a -2 on this just to show you how it lowered the volume of just this section. All right. Amplification is pretty straightforward. And like I said, a lot of video editing programs will accomplish that. The next one, or the next tip, this tip is how to remove the background noise. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at this video. You have the ability to expand and contract the timeline, and the timeline here is up at the top. This is the timeline in minutes and seconds. You can hold down the control key and use your mouse wheel up or down to expand out the timeline. So what I like to do is I'm going to expand it out and use the slider down here to control it a little bit. We'll go to the beginning. And what I want to do is see if I can get a section of that background noise. So this is a two-part step to do noise reduction. Now that I have a section of the noise selected, you can hear that. What I'll do is I go up here to effects, I go to noise reduction, I go to get the noise. That's the first step. All those other settings you just saw, we're not going to utilize those yet until we actually go back to effects again, noise reduction, because I first had to capture the noise I want to get rid of. Now I'm going to actually go and apply settings such as reducing it by 12 dB, that specific sound. Here's the sensitivity level of that sound, and then there's a frequency smoothing in bands. You can adjust this based on the preview. You can hear that's a little bit better than that. So what I usually do is I'm a technology person that believes in automation, so it kind of gives me a tendency to be lazy with technology. So what I do is I've literally gone before and I've gone noise reduction. I've gotten the noise. I'll go ahead and apply it. Actually, let me undo that. Let's go here and we want to apply it to everything so it removes it from the entire track. So there it's processing, it's removing it from the entire track. Now you can see it's gotten a little bit better, but you can see there's still a little band where you can hear the noise. And like I said, me being lazy, I usually go back in here and get the noise again. And then I go back to effects, go noise reduction, preview. You can hear noise is almost gone. So what I'll do is I'll go here, select all again. I'll go to effects and I'll go noise reduction. And I will apply it here again. Now with that being applied,
Hey guys, I'm down here in my data center.
now you can see Peter's audio
A lot of
is
people
spectacular.
comment. They think I must mine a lot of Bitcoin, but that's not the case.
Now,
But what
That doesn't include the dramatic effect. The machine noise in the background adds some dramatic effects. If you remember this.
Hey guys, I'm down here in my data center,
So we've gone from this
and a lot of people always comment. They think,
to this.
hey guys, I'm down here in my data center, and a lot of people always comment.
So now, one point to note is there's a slight bit of distortion that may be introduced when doing this. So try to use it sparingly. But for the most part, if you're dealing with audio that has a really bad background noise, this will help to clean it out and it'll actually improve it rather than degrade it further. So that's tip number 2, removing background noise. In the last and final tip, we'll go ahead and we'll try to normalize audio levels. I gave an example where you have someone doing a presentation and then asking someone in the audience a question, where you have the presenter with loud, clear, recorded voice, and then you have someone that's asking the question where it's really low. You just kind of have to do your best when you're in that scenario. It's not perfect, but what I did was I went ahead and I tried to create or simulate the scenario. Here is the recording I created. We'll go ahead and listen to that. So what I'm doing now is talking directly into the microphone to get a nice loud sound recorded. And then I'm going way back in the distance so that I have a lot lower level audio so I can do the normalization of the audio volume. So that is my recording that I'm going to attempt to clean up and adjust the levels so it's more consistent. So what you want to do here is identify your lows, your lowest values or your lowest attenuation levels. So what I'll do is I'll kind of select maybe this area here, and then I'll hit play, and you can see it's right around -36 to -30. So we'll split the difference and we'll say -33. So what we'll do is we'll do a Control A, select all. We'll go to Effect. We'll go to Compressor. And then we'll go to the threshold of let's do a preview of that. So what I'm doing now is talking directly into the microphone to get a nice loud. Click OK. Now you can see what it's done is it's compressed the loud sounds here and it's brought up the low sounds. So what I'll do is I'll do an undo, and what I'll do is I'll adjust that setting where we go effect, we'll go to compressor, and I think we put in -33. Let's put in -43. We'll do that. And now we've got a little bit better. What we can do is go with that. So what I'm doing now is talking directly into the microphone to get a nice loud sound recorded. And then I'm going way back in the distance so that I have a lot lower level audio so I can do the normalization of the audio volume. So what we've done is we've improved it a little bit, but what I want to go ahead and do is let's go ahead and apply the process one more time. So here we can see we're about -18 dB. So we'll select it all again. We'll go to use the effects and use a compressor. And again, I'm looking for -18 this time. -18, and we'll apply it there. And we can see we've gotten it just a little bit better. Now we got to be careful for those high volume areas. They will become distorted the more you do this. So you have to listen. So what I'm doing now is talking directly into the microphone to get a nice loud sound recorded. And then I'm going way back in the distance so that I have a lot lower level audio so I can do the normalization of the audio volume. So that's a whole lot better than what we originally had. What we originally had was really low volume over here and then really high volume over there. Now what we can also do is we can come back behind this. We'll try to do a normalizing and see what we get. That actually normalized it a little bit better. And finally, this is our final result. So what I'm doing now is talking directly into the microphone to get a nice loud sound recorded. And then I'm going way back in the distance so that I have a lot lower level audio so I can do the... So we're ready to go ahead and do our export process. All the audio editing that you do in your videos, you ultimately result in exporting them. What I like to do is I like to export to MP3, and I like to go ahead and do the insane quality so I have the best sound recording as possible. This is the original one, audio normalization, and we're gonna go ahead and name this one cleaned. And save that off. And it gives you the options to include artists, tracks, track numbers, year, etc. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and save that off. And we're going to go ahead and take our 3 clips. Now we have our 3 clips. We're going to open the original back up. And here's our original. We'll select the original. Play that. So what I'm doing now is talking directly into the microphone to get a nice loud sound recorded. And then I'm going way back in the distance so that I have a lot lower level audio so I can do the normalization of... So drastic difference between those levels. We'll go back to this one. So what I'm doing now is talking directly into the microphone to get a nice loud sound recorded. And then I'm going way back in the distance so that I have a lot lower level audio so I can do the normalization of the audio volume. So the other thing is you can apply some of the other tips on top of this audio that we've created when we compressed it out and we normalized it. If you take a look at these sound waves, there's a drastic difference between the two. And this is essentially what this tool provides. It's a low-cost tool. If you install it and it complains about FFmpeg, the description below includes a link to go ahead and download the FFmpeg, which will handle a lot of the different codecs. Playing with this tool is probably something you want to take advantage of because there are a lot of effects listed here that I didn't even get anywhere close to getting into. There's echo, distortion settings to add effects, remove effects, all kinds of filters, low pass filters, notch filters, spectrum analysis. There's vocal removers, all kinds of different settings that you can get into, and you can use this software. It is extremely powerful and way beyond the scope of this particular video to get into. So take a look at Audacity for your audio editing needs. That's it for this video from Work From Home Tech. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. If you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. I try to respond to every single comment on the channel, and I appreciate everyone that subscribed and left me a comment on the channel as well. So stay tuned for more videos on Work From Home Tech. Peace.